Thank you very much. Director Allison, let me ask you this. The I was listening to you talk about being proactive, and you also talked a little bit earlier about hiring and trying to make sure you hire the right people. And in this committee, we've been dealing with the Secret Service. In my community, we have been dealing with the Baltimore City Police. And you know, I think but a lot of times when I hire people, I look for two things. I look for smart people and people with passion for the mission. Got to have both. One without the other doesn't work. Because if they've got passion for the mission, if they're smart and got passion for the mission, like you said, there's certain things they're just not going to do. They're not going to do it. Then, I mean, in other words, negative things, going against the mission. It's sort of like going against yourself. And I'm listening to you, and I was thinking, I think people can supervise with a culture of fear or with a culture of inclusiveness and excellence. And it's just like, I sit on the board of the Naval Academy, and there's not a time that I meet with those midshipmen after our board meetings that I am not filled with just phenomenal admiration. You know why? Because they have both. They have a passion for the mission and this country, and they're smart. And so they basically sort of self-govern. I guess that's where you're trying to get to. People self-govern because they want to be a part of the elite of the elite. And I was just wondering, I just kind of throw those concepts out there because I think sometimes we approach things from the back door, gotcha. And I think there's a natural inclination, if you are supervising with a gotcha, somebody's going to try to duck and dodge in the process. But if everybody's being lifted up, my theory is the people who are not about the mission are going to fall off. Because you know why? The people who are about it aren't going to tolerate it. They're just not going to tolerate it. Or the person who's not about the mission is going to feel so uncomfortable that it's just not, they know it's not going to work. And I just wanted to, I've listened to all of what you said, and I was just wondering, how does what I just said, if any of it, fit into your philosophy of supervision? And the reason why it's so important, the chairman is right. We have folk come in here all the time, and it's almost like they are in supervisory roles, but they seem as if they don't want to admit if there's a problem. And if there is a problem, they don't want to take the appropriate action to address it, with due process, of course. So I was just curious as to your feelings on it.
Sure, Mr. Congressman. Leadership philosophy, I comport myself with the philosophy of mission first, people always, right? Those aren't diametrically opposed. And you're right. I think somewhere along the way, and again, I've had some tremendous opportunities working for the government. I attended some wonderful leadership courses, and we all learn and grow as we progress through the federal government, and you get more and more responsibility. So you are right; it is a learning exercise. And specifically to your point, as you were talking, I wrote down something I had heard along the way, which is it's better to be a charismatic leader that inspires performance than a tyrannical one that demands it. And that's where we want to be, because that's when you're going to get the most bang for your buck. As I said to you guys last night, if we can inspire people, coach people, mentor people, instill the mission, we're going to be in a lot better place rather than waiting and being that person that you described that says, I got you. That does not work. We know that does not work. I know that does not work. So we need to be a place where every person in the organization has pride in the organization, some degree of pride, lot or little, some degree of pride. And you're not just here to collect a check. And, once we get to that place, that's the place we want to be. You're exactly right.
Now, one of the things that, how do you feel about the morale in your agency overall?
The morale in the organization?
Yeah, the morale.
The only way I have to gauge that, Mr. Congressman, is through the surveys that come out every year, and they're not good. We had one when I first took over that I had it, and I own it. I'm not making excuses. I'm in charge, so that was done before I got there, but I own it. It was very low. That is challenging. How do you get the morale up? In some respects, morale is an individual decision. We all have an opportunity to come to work every day and decide how we're going to feel. My morale's high. I feel good when I come into work. I'm energized, I'm excited, and I can create the environment for morale, right? I can do things that are fair, that are transparent. We can communicate with our employees. We can let them know that we support them. So that is a challenge, and the department, as you're well aware, has taken on this quite feverishly over the couple of years. So as senior leaders, we're all working on it.
Yeah. Last question, and I ask you and Ms. Book. I want to be real clear. So you all feel that you have the tools that you need. You don't need anything else from us. Is that right? To deal with discipline and things of that nature. Ms. Book?
Thank you. Yes, we have all the tools that we need to deal with the discipline.
Director?
I believe the same as well.
Thank you very much.